So I've passed out to you this colored pencil blending worksheet. Everybody has one? I also gave you the directions for doing the project. If you notice, we're not drawing the whole butterfly. We're just going to do one of the wings. So today our goal is to try and pick the colors that we might want to use on our actual butterfly wing. I don't want us to have to spend a lot of time every day looking for colored pencils. So at the end of class today, if you like the colored pencils that you found, I have rubber bands, so you could take the colors that you want and rubber band them together and put them in your folder so you don't have to spend time doing that every day. When you're trying to blend the colored pencils, you might want to try and pick 3 colors that you think are going to look nice together. So for like making a realistic monarch butterfly, you might want like a yellow, an orange, and a red, because those 3 colors are next to each other on the color wheel. They're going to look nice when they blend together. When I'm doing colored pencil blending, I like to start with like the medium value that I'm going to use first, and then for this I'm going to do the darker value on the outside edge and the lighter value closer to the body. So when I'm blending colored pencils, one of the most important things is not pressing very hard from the beginning. So colored pencils are made with wax, and the wax is kind of transparent, translucent. So when you're using the colored pencils to blend, you're going to want to press lightly and layer them over the top of each other, so like where they come together, and I'll bring it a little bit closer so we can see the shape a little bit more clearly. And then when I take the darker color, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not pressing really hard. I'm pressing kind of lightly, and I'm overlapping where that orange color was just a little bit. When you're doing colored pencil blending, you're going to be using the same colors and layering them over top of each other. So now I'm going back to the color that I used first, that like medium color. And then I'm going to go back to my lighter color again. And I'm still not pressing very hard. If you're pressing really hard, your hand is going to get tired and your blending is not going to be as smooth as it could be if you were pressing lightly. Something else that you might want to do with like the darker value, since we want to make this look a little bit more round, I'm just going to like bring the red down on the side a little bit more. And then I'll go back to this medium value one more time. So when you're using the colored pencils on this white paper, I feel like you'll see it more when you're doing it on the gray color paper. I'm going to try and press the focus button again so we can get this sharp. Okay, you see how there's like little white dots in here? If you want to make those go away, if you use the white colored pencil, and this part I'm actually pressing kind of hard. If you apply some pressure, you can smooth it out so all of those lines go away. Now, when you're doing your actual project, if you color the black part of the wings first, if you go outside of the wing, you're going to have to take the Sharpie marker and you're going to have to touch up the edges. If you save the Sharpie marker for later, I think you'll have a better time, but some people wanted to do the outlining first when they're doing their coloring, so I'm okay with it being either way, but since this is a printout, it's already black. If you want to touch it up, you can use the ultrafine black Sharpie. So that's some warm colors, right? We used 3 colors. You can use more than 3 colors. So for this next one, I'm going to do like the teal, the grass green, the true green, and the ultramarine. This is like what I do in the one butterfly wing that is like the cool colors. So when you're looking at the colored pencils, if you look at kind of like the points of them, that's really going to give you the more true experience of what the color is going to look like especially for this true green. The point of the true green doesn't really match the body color of the true green. So you really want to be looking at like the points of the colors and deciding what the values are. When I look at these colored pencils, I see the true green as like the lightest one. Then the aqua and the grass green are kind of middle values. And then this ultramarine blue is the darkest value. So when I start coloring, I want to start with one of these 2 colors in the middle. And I think that this one looks lighter. So this is the one that I'm going to start coloring with first. So I'm going to just pick a random spot. Since I'm doing 4 colors and I'm going to start with this lighter color, instead of doing the whole middle, I'm just going to do the middle part that's like closer to the left. Then I'm going to do the grass green. After I do the grass green, I'm going to do the ultramarine. And then I'm going to do the true green as like my pop color in the middle. So it's like the same process that I'm just going to repeat. I'm going to go back to this one and I'm going to try and overlap the edges a little bit between the 2 colors. I'm going to go back to the other green. I'm going to overlap the colors a little bit. I'm going to go to the ultramarine. There we go. So the whole time that I'm coloring this, I'm not really trying to press very hard. If I press too hard, it's going to make the wax of the colored pencils harder for them to blend together. I want to try and make it easy to blend by not pressing too much because it's like a translucent wax. It's a little bit see-through. So if I do it too dark, it's going to make it more opaque and not really want to show the colors that are shining through underneath. Now that I've kind of layered them up a little bit, if I want to press a little bit harder now, because you can blend them and fill in that white space without using the white if you don't want to use the white, because sometimes the white with the darker colors will make the darker color look too light. The other thing that I want to point out is if you've been using the white and I use the white on this warm colored one, I might need to clean off the white on the side because it did have some like yellow, reddish, orange color on there. And then I can use the white for blending. When you use the white to help you blend, if that darker outside color looks like it got too light, you can always grab that darker color and go back over the outline again to make it be a little bit darker and less light. When you're picking colors, you don't have to do all different colors. You can pick the same color and just do different values. So this is like a light purple, a medium purple, a dark purple. So if you want to stay in the same color family, like all shades of purple, you can definitely do that too. Let's start with the medium one. If this is my medium color through the middle, this is my lighter color. Yes. You can do any color you want. The goal of this is I don't want you to draw your butterfly wing and then start coloring it and go, these are the ugliest colors I could have picked and I already drew my whole butterfly wing and now I got to start over, right? I want you to have an idea of what you want to do before you wind up wasting a whole bunch of time having to start over because you picked ugly colors that you hate. So I'm going to be honest, I feel like this could be darker at the end, so I'm going to add some of this darker color over it because I don't like the way that this looks. I feel like it doesn't have enough of a pop. So I'm going to add in this blue indigo. And then I'm going to shade it. So at the bottom of the paper, it says colors used 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to let you hold on to these colors by using a rubber band, but if you wanted to make a note like this one was canary yellow, orange, and then this one was carmine red. This other set was true green, light aqua, grass green, and ultramarine. This one was lavender, Parma violet, and then it was violet, and then it was Okay. The other thing that I want to point out, when you're looking at these colored pencils, the colored pencil name is written in French and it's written in English. Depending on how short your colored pencil is, right? There's also a number here. If you want to write down the number, you could write down the number. If you want to write down the name, you could write down the name. I think sometimes it's helpful to have that somewhere because if you're using, you know, say Crayola instead of Prismacolor, the color might look different. The butterfly wing, also, if you wanted to do multicolors on it, you could do multicolors on it. I'm not going to be so picky about how you color it, just as long as it's something you enjoy. Like this one, I think there is no really Prismacolor that I have that is like this one. That's lemon yellow. It's like slightly more green. Okay, do you have questions about this?